Alright guys, let's get started. So, this is the first lesson for Photoshop, and we're going to go over just the moving tool and learn a little bit about our layers within Photoshop. It is a little bit different than Illustrator, but this should only take about 5 minutes for you guys to complete. Okay? So if you guys go to your school page, you should have already done this Photoshop diagram and looked at the Photoshop page. So you're going to go over here to the Perfect Patty, and then this is the file right here that you will need to download. So if you just click it, it should start downloading in the top right, and then it should open up Photoshop for you. Okay, or you'll have to click your download file, but this is what you guys should be opening up to. If you would like, there is also underneath step-by-step instructions right here. So if you do need them, you can bring them up on your screen as you are going, or you can listen to this video, either one. Okay, so real quick, we are just going to set up our Photoshop. This is probably your first time, and you just want to make sure it's set to essentials. Okay, if you ever lose any of your panels, you lose your toolbar, anything like that, just go back up here to this top right here where it says share, search, and then choose workspace is here, and just click essentials or reset essentials, and that will bring everything back up that we will need. Okay, so we have our options bar here, we have our toolbar here, and then over here on the right side is like a lot of our properties and other little tabs. So we have color, we have swatches, gradients, patterns. Here's some properties here, depending on what you're using. Here is our Creative Cloud library. So if you're trying to import, other things that you have created, you can save them to your library and then bring them in this way. Adjustments, these are for more photo adjustments. And then down here is our layers. Okay, and then channels we're not going to work with right now, and paths we're not going to work with. So we're just sticking here with our layers. So a few things: if you don't see layers, go to Window and make sure that layers is checked over here, because that is what we are working with. And then if you look here, I have everything labeled, and you can see it's top bun, bottom bun. I think that's supposed to say lettuce. Onion, cheese, okay, and then layer 2 has an effect on it. That's why it has that FX, and you can see the effects here, and it's locked. So that is our background layer. We don't want to mess with that. So again, we can lock our layers just like we did in Illustrator. So what we're going to do is we are going to layer this patty correctly, so that way it looks like the perfect patty. So to do this, if you go up to our toolbar over here on the left, you want to go to our most used tool. It's the move tool. So it's what we use to drag and click things around when we're working with a lot of times with photos, sometimes with drawings if you want to move around your different pieces of your drawing. So I'm going to click my move tool over here, and now if you look, I can click and I can drag all my sandwich around, and I can just start kind of pulling everything down. As you can see though, things are not laying over top of one another the way that we want it to be done. Okay, so a little thing about the move tool is over here, if you see, there is this auto select and it says layer right now, so you can switch it to layer or group. The reason I want to bring up this auto select check button up here is because, say I'm trying to move something, let's see, something's like overlapping. So say I'm trying to move my onion, but it's completely behind my, well, it doesn't cover right away, but I'm trying to click. Just pretend that you can't see the onion here. If I'm trying to move my onion, but it's completely hidden under all these things and I can't get to it. Well, if I turn off auto select and then I go to my onion layer, I can click and move it and find it, even if it's hidden behind something, because it's not going to auto select it. But again, if I want to move my lettuce now, it's not going to move my lettuce. I can click anywhere on the page and it's going to move my limb. So if I turn auto select back on, anything I'm clicking on is going to be able to move. So that's the only thing about the move tool that you want to have in mind when you're working, because sometimes it's beneficial to turn that off and find the layer you need and start moving things when things start getting hidden. Okay, so let's start, let's build the burger from the bottom up. So the bottom part here is this bottom bun right here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is the patty. So I'm just going to bring the patty down and lay it on top. Okay, so and then the next one after that is going to be, we're going to put cheese on top of our patty. Okay, so my cheese is obviously not on the right layer either, and then onions go on top of the cheese, and then a pickle on top. So there's my pickle. Then we're going to add on my tomatoes. And then we're going to add on my lettuce, and then we're going to do the top bun. So right now this is not looking great, okay? Obviously this cheese, I want it to be flowing over the bun, or the patty. I want the patty on top. So let's start aligning our layers now in the correct way. So our bottom bun here needs to be behind everything. So I'm going to click on this, and you can see here my bottom bun is actually in front of everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it down. Okay, and here's my bottom button. Okay, and you can see now here is my patty. Okay, so the next thing that I notice is that my cheese. Okay, my cheese needs to be in front of this patty, so that way the cheese overlays it. So I'm going to grab my cheese and I'm going to bring it in front of my patty. So this is already looking much better. So now I'm just going to readjust these things a little bit, just so they're sitting the way I would like them to look. So great. So now, okay, my bottom bun's done, my patty and my cheese are done. So next would be the onions. Again, the onions we want to sit in front of the cheese. So I'm going to find my onions here and I'm going to drag it in front. So everything that is higher on the layer is going to be in front. Everything that's below the layer is going to go behind. Okay, so I'm just going to go and I'm going to grab these and kind of get it situated where I would like them to sit. So then the next one over top of that is going to be my pickle. I can't even see my pickle right now. So I'm going to go over here, tomatoes, lettuce. I'm going to go with this as the pickle, and I'm going to drag it up, and it is the pickle, so I'm going to need to fix that here in a little bit. And actually, I'm going to fix it now while I'm doing this. So I'm going to double click on this. So to rename our layers, you just double click on the name, and I'm just going to rename that pickle. Okay, and then click off and it's good. And I'm just going to bring it a little bit farther so I can kind of see it. So then the next thing after the pickles is the tomatoes. So again, tomatoes need to be higher than the pickles, and then I'm going to drag it down and just kind of have it sitting, you know, where it looks nice. We got misspelled tomatoes here, so you should be correcting these layers as you go or at the end. So tomato, and then the last thing is going to be the lettuce, which is all the way down here. So I need to drag this up. I'm going to just, you know, sit this down where I like it on my burger. I'm going to fix my layers because, right, we need everything layered correctly. And then I'm going to grab my top bun and I'm going to bring it here. And there you go. So bottom bun, K-patty, cheese, onion, pickle, tomato, lettuce, top bun. Perfect. So everything is good. If I want to move this whole thing together, so what I can do is I can, if you just use your move tool and you click and drag, that creates a selection box real quick. And as you can see, all of these are now highlighted. So now I'm able to move this nice into the middle and I have my perfect patty. I can also go over to my layer. If I click the top one and then I hold down the shift key and click the bottom one, you see it will select all of these too. So once you have finished this, just go to File and Save, and make sure you have a new Photoshop folder for yourself for all of your assignments saved to your OneDrive. So go ahead and save the Photoshop file. Do not export this. We are just saving. I want to see all your work. So you are going to turn in this to me.